foreign women are simply better. Not everybody shares this sentiment, but there are many of us who do. I mean, why would anybody want to deal with a woman who claims to be a queen, but only chooses the worst of men to be with? That doesn't make any sense. That's not royalty. That's like worse than peasantry. Okay? And so the thing about it is that nowadays it's coming to a point where many good men are actually looking off the shores of the USA for the type of affection and femininity that they feel that they deserve. And so I agree with these men, because it's like, if a man, especially a black American man, who was always at the bottom of the totem pole almost no matter where he goes, if a black American man goes overseas and somehow he meets a woman or women and they treat him good, you know, and they act feminine, why would he want to come back to a woman who, or to a black American woman who feels that you have to spit game at her? Or to some white American women, some that are either wiggers, or in other words, they like the same type of negative qualities in black men that black women like. From what I can tell, there's just no comparison. You go marry women from cultures where the woman's role is more traditional, it's more normalized. There has been feminism in most of the industrialized countries, and in some third world countries too. But it seems like the United States of America has taken the cake, or it just ran away with it. It ran away with the feminism infection, or what I like to call the female superiority movement. You know? And so it comes to a point now where many American women, not all, but many, and especially black American women, whom I have the most experience with, they feel like they don't have to do nothing for you. They feel like they don't have to cook for you. They don't feel like they need to do anything in order to please their man. She doesn't want to give you a massage. She doesn't want to get pretty for you half the time. I mean, it's coming to the point now where in the USA we're starting to have this big role reversal thing where the guy is cooking for the woman and doing all of these other things. Now, there's nothing wrong with a man cooking and being a chef, or you might even have men that know how to cook better than their women do, but traditionally that's like a woman's labor task, you know, the cooking and things like that. And many of these women, they want to eat fast food more quickly than you do. I go to some cultures, I've seen women who don't even know anything about fast food, or they look at it as like a novelty or something, not as just a way of life. You know, I mean, in the world, there's still women that cater to their men. There's still women that cater to their men in the world. And plus, you can actually approach these women as a normal man. You don't have to spit game, just to, whatever game is bullshit. I think Cobra, one of the other posters on YouTube, Brother Cobra, he actually went into what game is and the bullshit about it. You know, I'm not going to sit here throwing up statistics and things like that, because a lot of times people will throw up statistics when they don't have anything to say. Okay, to try to prove their point and try to let the statistics speak for them. I mean, I'm seeing all of these stupid videos arguing about statistics. I can give a fuck about that. I'm talking about what I see with my own eyes. But oddly enough, many of the times that I've mentioned something, it actually is accurate according to the statistics. But I'm not going to go around putting up statistical charts and things like that, because really people are just throwing up charts at each other, and it gets to a point where you really miss the whole bottom line of what we're trying to talk about here. But anyway, I don't want to deviate off of what I'm saying too much, but as far as foreign women go, oh my goodness. I mean, you have these people, these so-called educated professors and things like that, coming out with books talking about black men going overseas or going wherever to meet women. And the thing about it is that, for the most part, it's true. The only thing I want to throw in there is that Many of these black men, they meet women who are regular. Okay, not all of them are prostitutes or hookers or something like that. So before somebody comes and throws that bullshit on my page, just want to point that fact out, that many black men are going overseas and they're meeting decent women and they are liking them. Okay, now, since I brought up statistics, I just want to say that in those so-called statistics that people love to throw around as though that's the written word, and you can even dispute that, but the statistics don't take into account how many men are actually dating outside of their race or however it may be, but aren't being polled. I would say that most guys don't even sit down to these polls or anything. I never sat down to one. I mean, and I've been with many, many different types of people outside of African American is what I mean. And so I can say for myself and many of the people that I know, which is a very limited range compared to the whole demographic, none of us have taken polls or been involved in any kind of psychological or research or anything like that. None of us have been involved in that. So when people quote, oh, well, only 90% of black men are with their own women, that 90% of black men are with their women, and then it's only like 10% or so of black men that actually marry. I'm sorry, that stat said marrying black American women. It's only 10% that aren't. But what about the people that don't get married? A lot of guys don't get married or don't want to get married. So those figures, it doesn't even include those men, and they're actually preferring either foreign women or women of other races. And so you wouldn't have so many black women going on shows and magazines and things like that complaining that nobody's on my level and I can't find a decent black man, blah blah blah, etc., if of the whole situation. I mean, the stat, it only tells like part of the story, really, because most of the guys that are doing that thing with women of other races or foreign women, they're not even being polled or asked, or don't even want to participate in any type of research showing the dating trends of group X versus group Z or whatever. So, I mean, the bottom line is that it is more than likely that more than 10% of black men actually deal with women who are not African American, whether they are marrying them or dating them. So, I mean, in that case, they can take those stats and shove them somewhere else, because men are going to do what they're going to do. And as long as we have to deal with the women who feel like they don't have to cater to men or don't have to do anything for men, but will stick by the worst of men and claim that, oh, we stick by men, but only stick by the worst of black men, then, I mean, they're going to be lost and they're going to lose out. I mean, they cannot complain when they see a successful black man with somebody who doesn't look like them. That's the bottom line about it. So, for now, I'll just leave it at that, but I'm going to elaborate more about this foreign thing, foreign versus domestic. Very interesting and a lot of contrast right there. I've only skimmed the surface a little bit, but maybe this will give people an idea of what I'm about to get into here. So, take that for what it is. Take as much as you want from it, or as little as you want from it, but there are many guys that are starting to feel this way.